You're listening to Behind the Shield, giving you 15 minutes of inspiration, triumphs, and more with the Salvation Army.
Captain Ken Chapman here. I'm the area commander of the Salvation Army of Orange and Osceola counties in a place in Central Florida where people really care for each other. And today we have another podcast that we hope you will be interested in, another aspect of the Salvation Army. And this is a rather new thing that we have. We have advisory organizations, we have Women's Auxiliary, but a younger group that we're trying to put together called Echelon, and we are excited about what that is going to give us the opportunity to reach out to. And today I have one of our board members who is going to be directing this whole Echelon effort, Greg Fornadell. Greg, before we get into the discussion of Echelon, tell us about who you are, what you do, and what brought you to the Salvation Army Board.
Yeah, how are you? Good to be here with you today. Yeah, again, Greg Fornadell. I work in sales. I've been in sales for a long time, and what that comes with is building relationships with people. And through that, I was introduced to yourself and the Salvation Army, and I fell in love with the mission. We all know the mission around Christmas time, the red kettle, but learning about it and seeing how much more it is for the community really touched me. And then in the meantime, in the last 3 years, I've had 2 daughters, and I realized how much I want to help make the community good for them and all of their friends. Joining you guys was a natural fit for that. And then taking Echelon now to the next level for the young professionals, for the next group to come in, the next generation, it's going to be fantastic.
And we think you're the perfect person to make that happen. So let me tell you a little bit about what Echelon is. Echelon is a group of usually young professionals. There's no real criteria. You just need to be a part of a group. A lot of the things that they do is very socially oriented. 18 to 35 is the age group, and it tends to be in that mid-20s to mid-30s of people that come and join, particularly from a professional background. And it's raising money for the Salvation Army. It's learning about the mission of the Salvation Army. And our mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ through serving suffering humanity. We love inclusively. We serve without discrimination. And so for 104 years in Orlando, the Salvation Army's been serving this community. And so our average donor is in their 70s. Mm-hmm. So we have to get younger.
Yes.
And we're making a big effort to get more into social media. And I'm a TikTok star. You probably didn't know that.
I've seen you all over my feed, all over.
And I'm going to work on getting better at Instagram. But Greg, tell us about your passion of why you serve the Salvation Army mission and how you think Echelon can make a difference.
Yeah, what really drew me to Salvation Army was it was helping those that want to be helped. That was a big part of the mission. Obviously in Orlando, the stats, so we have thousands moving in every day to Central Florida. And with the times we're on financially right now, there are people that need help. But being able to designate those that want to be helped and have the place to go to, whether it be the men, the women, or the children, it's fantastic. It's really drawn me to helping the people find what they need, whether that be, okay, they just have food and a bed. Okay, they need to get a driver's license. They need to help finding a job. It really helps build that community of the people that really need it, and that was a big draw for me.
You tell the story better than I do. I appreciate that and your passion for that. Obviously, your heart beats for others. And I believe the younger generation has a desire to want to get hands-on in a mission. COVID completely changed the world. We became more separated from each other. And I think there's a pent-up demand and desire in people to want to come back together. And Echelon offers that perfect opportunity for younger people to get together to help others.
Yeah, and you mentioned with the average donor age being in the 70s and sitting on the advisory board and knowing that there are some folks that are much older than myself and they've lived a different life. They were able to get houses back in the day for what these young kids are getting cars for nowadays. I mean, the world has completely changed. And I think for the young people, it's important to know that it's not just fundraising, it's friend raising as well. They can do as much with their voice and their network as they can with their dollars. It obviously costs more for all of them to live right now. They might not have the extra $100 or $500 to spend to donate, but they can get involved other ways. The sweat equity, we're always looking for volunteers, and it's the perfect way for them to get involved.
Right, and we need that younger energy coming into this 104-year-old Army here in Orlando. One of the things that you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be wealthy, because very few people in their 20s and 30s are at that point yet, because you haven't built your wealth. You're on the bottom ring of that. But it's just the heart for helping people. It's helping connect people. Like, you could even read a book to a kid in the women and children's shelter. You can help change the socks for people who are homeless. My grandmother always told me, if you're really having a hard time and you got to keep going, wash your hands and your feet, change your socks, and you'll feel like a new person. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing when we do that for people who are struggling mm-hmm. in our shelters, what difference that makes. So there's many opportunities for people, younger people, to be introduced to the Salvation Army. There's no financial requirement. You don't have to raise so much money. You don't have to pay dues and these kinds of things. So if you can have a heart beating for others, Echelon is your place.
Absolutely. And it's very enlightening, and it kind of puts you on notice when you go out and you volunteer and you're passing out sandwiches to the community, and you realize that you're only 2 or 3 bad decisions away from being in that same spot. It's definitely a perspective builder that I think a lot of the young community really needs. It takes away a lot of that entitlement. You realize we're all human. We all love the same. We all feel the same. We might not live the same, but we can help that.
And Echelon and the Salvation Army can give you multiple outlets to be able to express that desire to want to help others. One of the things that we want to focus on with Echelon is a campaign we call Bed and Bread. That kind of makes sense. We give people a bed to stay, and you feed them bread or whatever. We feed them more than bread, but bed and bread. And what our goal is to get 12,000 people. There's 2 million people in this area we live in. Only 12,000 people to give $12 a month for 12 months. Now you think, okay, my $12 doesn't make that big of a difference. And yes, $12 doesn't make that kind of a difference when you have a $20 million budget and you're trying to help a lot of people. 1,000 meals a day, 300 beds of shelter every night on our campus. And so $12 is really 2 Starbucks a month. Yep. But if you multiply that by 11,999 other people, yep. That's 1.6 million. So it doesn't hurt you individually, $12 a month. And during that time period, we will send you just 3 sentences, text you 3 sentences a month. This is how your $12 helped. And we'll cultivate your knowledge of the Salvation Army and how we give to this community every day. So Bed and Bread is something we want Echelon to be a part of. And I know you're already a part of that.
Absolutely. And I think the best thing for the young professionals, the younger generation, to be able to leverage is social media. It's huge now. I know you're one of the ones that's young at heart. I see you all over. But it's
an old man doing it, though.
Yeah, but it's something that our generation grew up with, and like you said, during COVID, we're able to connect more with friends and family that live elsewhere. The young professionals, it's about the time of life when they start to kind of change their area and change their friend groups. To be able to send a simple link to them to say, hey, would you join me in this mission? That's another $12. That network that we're able to connect with just comes natural to our generation, and we're able to take advantage of it and raise so much more money.
Absolutely. So we are so excited about Echelon and Greg Fornadell, who is going to be leading that effort for us. We want you to connect with us, SalvationArmyOrlando.org, SalvationArmyOsceola.org, and you can download the Salvation Army Orlando app to find out a lot more. And we promise if you reach out to us, we will respond. We'll forward them all to Greg, and he will get with you right away. And then you can get 12 other people to join with your network. So we're excited about the future of Echelon, excited about you, Greg, and the leadership you're going to bring.
Absolutely. We're looking to team up with a lot of the other divisions nationwide, too. So we've got some really fun social events up this year as well.
So Echelon, if you're between the ages of 18 and 35, from all walks of life, we invite you to help join our Army, be one of our soldiers, be one of our members. More fun than it is anything else, and a lot of networking that can help you in your professional life. That's Echelon, 18 to 35. SalvationArmyOrlando.org, SalvationArmyOsceola.org. Jesus said, if you give a cup of water in my name to the least of these, you've given it unto me. So today, see how you can reach out and help somebody else, and your heart can beat for others. Greg Fornadell, thank you for your leadership. Join Echelon today, SalvationArmyOrlando.org, SalvationArmyOsceola.org. God bless each of you.
Behind the Shield is powered by News 6, United Way, City of Orlando and Orange County.